All right. There we go. Bring it back live. Bring it back live. The king is here. The king is fucking here. Wait, hold on, man. This shit. Wrong side. Let's see. Wait. Hello, 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 hello. All right. Get this in order. Get this in order. Let's go ramble. Here in the nation of America, we are a nation of pass and fail men. There is no more average man. The average man does not exist in today's age. In today's age, in the culture of America, the westernized culture of America, you are either a complete fucking loser or you are an overachieving male. There's no in between. The days of the average man are done. There's no such thing as average. Either greatness or fail. We don't even have B students anymore to be a man. So as I was talking to my girl about this. What I'm starting to realize in today's society is the incentives of being an average man are not worth it. Because if you are an average man, you are still looked at as a failure of a man. Average is considered a failure in today's society. Let me repeat that again. If you are an average man, you are considered a failure in today's society. And this is also going to explain like the inflation of women's ego too. I'm going to wrap it all into one. So what I discovered in my travels, my great travels in the world, is that there is like there used to be like a grade curve. Like in life, like in school, I remember when you were guys in school, they have a thing called a grade curve, where they would curve the grades depending upon the average of all the students. So like whoever got the highest score on the test set the curve for the rest of the class. So say everybody in your class was, and I like this better too, because it's impossible to grade on a perfection scale. I like teachers who do the grade on the high, whoever got the highest grade, because that tells how good is the teacher teaching the class. So if the best student in the class can only get an 80% of the test, it only makes sense that we should judge everybody upon the level of education and abilities of the highest kid or the highest standard in our class. And then from there, you get everything graded. But here's what has happened in America. We have a grading system in America for the man, and we judge men based off the highest of our men. Now, some of you guys might think, okay, that's a great thing. But here's the fucking problem. Life is not necessarily a perfectly scored test. So there is no stopping point for the greatest man. There's nothing that can stop you from being better than what you are yesterday. So it just keeps on getting better. So with the internet, competitive advantages and all the other things that happen in reality that give smart, intelligent, driven, competitive, assertive men the advantage, their advantages just tenfold over time, and they keep getting better, better, and better, and better. Especially with the advent of the internet, is you can acquire more energy quicker. So if you are a tool user, a problem solver, and you understand how to use the internet, you're going to be just picking up information rapidly fast. You get better with time exponentially. So because of that, the ability of us to show these men on the internet has allowed us to pretty much create like a world where your top man, oh, give me a second, I can try and get over it. The top man is like visually present amongst everybody. So if you're visually present amongst everybody can see how you do and perform. You are now like looked at as the standard of men. And it's not really fair to most guys. What the? Oh, I don't want to listen to Tyler right now. There we go. Oh, you know what, fucking, we're just gonna head to the job. We'll eat later. We will eat later. I'll tell you guys again. We will eat later. I'm on a roll right now. So what has occurred is that since we can all see who the top guys are, the top dogs in the world, it's like the average guy who's coming out is looking like, okay, I want to be like, we'll just say for example, Elon Musk. It's almost impossible to become Elon Musk within a year or so. It's not possible to be that guy. Or it's not possible to become Jeff Bezos. It's not possible to become whoever the top guys or whatever field that they particularly belong to. It's not the. And so Drake might be like, you can't be those guys that quickly. You can't become a tycoon of an industry within a year. It takes decades. But since young men are essentially competing against those like top of the field niggas, and that's the standard, most guys just basically say, you know what? Fuck it, I'm bowing out. Because the curve is too fucking high to pass. The curve is too high to pass. But they don't realize it takes longer to pass than most things. So what we have in today's society is essentially pass-fail men. The average man does not, there's no benefit of being an average man because the effort that you put into it gets you the same reward as somebody who dropped out as being a man. And because women have access to all these men, or the ability to see these men, women naturally want what they can't have, which is the greatest. They want the best. They want the top shelf shit. That's why you see women driving Range Rovers, Jeep Cherokees, cars that you know they can't afford. And they're just out of college. You're like, how are you paying for this car? Well, I got a $1,200 car note. You have a $1,200 car note? Yeah. What? Are you insane? And yes, most of them are insane. And that's why we have this dilemma, because most guys are looking at the situation like, yo, like, what the fuck? I can't afford to be a man to a woman. I can't afford it. I don't want to put the money, I don't want to put the work in. Because to be these type of guys, and I'm going through it right now, to be a top flight male, it takes an insurmountable amount of work. It's an endless journey of just trials and tribulation, challenges, and just overcoming shit, learning skill sets, and so forth and so forth. It never ends. In the words of Dr. Manhattan, it never ends. So what you come to understand is you gotta just love the game, and you can't do it for external motivation such as women. That's not gonna be good for you. If you're trying to become a top flight dude because of women, you're gonna be greatly disappointed, because when you get there to being a top flight guy, you know what happens when you get yourself a woman? You just gotta teach her. Like, everybody's like, I want a young, beautiful, hot woman and all this. You know what happens when you get her? A bunch of work. You gotta teach her everything. You gotta teach her how to be a part of your life, because she doesn't know. And you gotta do all the leadership. So all you get is more responsibility. That's the great reward for growing up as a man and becoming a man, is more responsibility. Hey, you say you want to be a man? Well, guess what I got for you? So responsibility. Oh, here's a family for you. Here's a business for you. Hey, here's a car note. Here's a house note. Here's a mortgage. Here's bills. Here's employees. Hey, guess what? You want to be the guy? Here, I got something that helps you be the guy called responsibility. That's what you get. It's just more responsibility. That's it. Let's check the messages, see who's out here sending some stuff. Send some love. I gotta put my Cash App in here somewhere. Yo, Apex, what is the Haney video coming? It's coming soon. I watched that crazy ass fight. What I saw was basically looked like a guy that, I don't know if he was faking it. I think he might have been on CTE, but I don't know. I gotta go back. I'll talk about the video. I gotta go back and rewatch the fight and all this shit. I thought it was insane what I was watching. But anyway, so now what we have is essentially pass or fail men, where you just get an eye test and you either look like you made it or you didn't. And what occurred is, since most men are bowing out the game, most guys have just simply bowed out the game of life. They simply dropped out of life. They'll make up excuses like, I don't want any kids or whatever. No, they just saw the road ahead. They say, you know what? I'd rather just bow out of life, because I'm looking at how much work it's going to take me, and I'm not built like it. I'm not built like that. I don't have that type of mentality to battle it out for 10 years and not see any reward and not know. I'd rather just give myself an easy job, play video games, and just get fat and call it a life. And just give up. And that's what you see with most guys. Most guys, they just gave up. They're just like, fuck it. It's not even worth trying no more. And so what we have is the hopeless male epidemic, where we got a couple of A students in the game of life, or in the game of manhood. We got a couple of A students, and the rest are all Fs. The rest are all Fs. And that's what I'm starting to notice. Either you're a super successful, driven man in this society, or you essentially just gave up. And what does that mean for women? Well, see, here's the thing that when it comes to women. Women, on average, are all C students. Women across the board are basically C. There is no high achieving women that are like that. There's no woman that coming out as an A. There's no woman that coming out as an F. They are all essentially within the C minus. I mean, within a D minus to B minus range. So the best you're gonna get if you find a chick she's gonna be a B minus. The worst you're gonna get is a D minus. I mean, and that's if she's single and childless, and hasn't done an OnlyFans or anything like that. So that's essentially what you're doing on that end. And that's your reward as a man, is that you get either a B minus girl, which you can basically help her grow into an A plus student. But here's the funny part. Since most guys are failures, since most guys are F students, women have realized the only thing that makes sense is to try to get the A student guy. So now we have extreme competition for the A guy, and no competition for the F guys. And so what we have realized is this is why women have like these plethora of F dudes. So what women have realized as far as their mating scheme is they can get a bunch of F student dudes and essentially get like the rewards of having an A guy without having the presence of the A guy. But they have to maintain this legion of F dudes. And the problem with the average man is the average man can't compete against 1,000 F guys. Because the average man is just like, he is what he is. He's average. He's just an average dude, man. He makes average money. He lives an average life. He does average things. He just lives like an average dude. But the reason the average dude the average dude is actually like a myth. It's not. He doesn't actually exist. It's a hypothetical situation. Is because we have so many F students and we have so many A guys. The average of what the average of what the average guy looks like is basically like a mythology. It doesn't really exist. It's a fictional idea in our heads that doesn't exist. There is no average guy. You're either failing or you're winning as a man. That's the only situation. Because us as guys have sold out our brothers, and we have demeaned the B and the C guys so much that he sees no value in doing it, so he drops out. Because there is no place in this country for the BC student guy. And so what we get is this huge discrepancy of A and F students. And this is why our country's kind of fucking doomed. Because until we start promoting the average man, we start creating a class of average people. Right? And that's another thing like the middle class. The middle class is slowly just dissolving, and we're coming to simply just being successful people, unsuccessful. As they keep dissolving, we're going to run into situations where the F class people are going to revolt and they're going to riot. And then we're going to have a real situation on our hands. That's going to be the real situation. Let's see, what we got? Hello, new friend, Winston Smith. Who's Winston Smith? Don't know who you are, sir. When is the Haney Garcia video coming? Let's see. Pin message. I don't know, man. It will probably be here probably when I get home this weekend. I'll get home and I get done mounting these TVs. I'm working. Motherfucker's working. I got bills to pay. I got a wife. Got shit to do. Anyway, appreciate you guys for listening. I'm about to shut off for the moment. Out of here.